thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. We believe that having access to mental health options is a really important lifeline any time of year, especially in the dominating seasons when we're shown what we should be, but we're not. BetterHelp offers a platform to connect to a therapist about whatever's on your mind, because we all need to be reminded that our journey is what we should focus on, rather than the picture-perfect BS we see in advertising and media. BetterHelp offers group support, flexible therapist options that allow you to find a new person whenever you'd like, and various ways to reach out for help, like texting or video. Talk to someone today about whatever is on your mind, whether this is your first step toward mental health or your 100th. BetterHelp can help, and you can use our code to get a discount. Try BetterHelp today by going to betterhelp.com/CinemaSins and get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/CinemaSins. Disney pleasuring itself vigorously with 42 seconds of its own logo. I see the animators have taken hints from Star Wars and are adding creatures into old scenes because they think it will somehow make the original better. Even cute animals do make things better. I think just making something original again would be better. But what do I know?
Once upon a time.
Cliché.
More than anything, they wished for a child.
See, kids, wishing is not how babies are made, and since Disney is only going to confuse you on how any of real life works, I'll help. You see, when a woman wants to have a baby, she freezes an egg when she's young so that she can date as many people as she wants until eventually she finds a partner who is present, capable of co-raising a family, and supports her individuality. She then returns to unfreeze her egg, has a scientist mash it with sperm, needles that embryo into her uterus, pays thousands and thousands of dollars, and hopefully has a healthy child and a healthy life where their family can benefit from the stability of established adults with careers and an ability to budget.
A princess was born.
Jesus, look at the size of that newborn's head. I bet that's what kills her mom. Snow White absolutely tore out her mom's woochie-mabob like a chestburster in the nether regions. R.I.P. Snow's mom's downstairs. And now begins one of several songs you will not remember once the credits have rolled. The wishing well could be a place where wishes are made and come true with some of the magic they sing about, but the movie is too vague to identify it as a source of power, and it turns out to just be a regular old boring well.
She married the king, but she was not what she appeared.
Wild. It's almost like the king really moved on from his beloved wife's death super fucking fast and got married far too quickly before actually knowing the person.
And cared only about her own beauty and the power it granted.
If beauty grants power in this kingdom, why would Snow White not have powers like the evil queen? I want to say the movie goes deeper to address this, but it doesn't.
She kept a magic mirror which could answer but one simple question.
That has to be the most useless magic mirror to ever magic mirror.
But the king did not return.
Taking only 7 minutes and 8 seconds to officially kill both parents. Oh, that's an important looking scepter that probably contains magic or something. Too bad there is zero mention of it or its purpose, and it joins the growing list of, well, that's just something the movie has in it, and who cares about the potential of the deeper story here list.
She made Snow White a servant.
Because everyone knows the prime example of servitude is a nice quick haircut. Being such a terrible mopper that you have to stand in one spot for 6 years and hope to not outgrow your shoes and dress.
I'm sure if the queen was aware of how desperate things have gotten.
Snow White has to know that the queen doesn't give a shit about anyone but herself by now. I mean, she's made her own stepdaughter a fucking servant. Are we supposed to think Snow White is stupid? Because that's not a great start for the movie if we're supposed to think our protagonist is this fucking stupid.
My subjects don't want a flower. They want a diamond.
But, I mean, you could start with an apple pie like Snow White suggested and work your way up from there.
Take him away!
These useless guards take an incredibly long time to remove a coat and shoes and walk Jonathan to the gate. In the time it takes, Snow White will sing her way around the castle here, 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 and here. Get it together, guards. Jeez.
Here. Look at yourself. Isn't this what you want? Go on. Speak to your people.
The shit they have written for the queen are the most loosely strung together superficial statements that make you stretch so far to find her motivation and reasoning. Look at this rose, now this diamond. People want diamonds. Look at this mirror, now pretend to speak to people. Her dialogue to Snow White isn't menacing or cruel, it's incoherent babbling from a beauty influencer. It's ridiculous.
You live in a world of wishes.
The word wish is being thrown around so often and nonchalantly in this movie, I feel like it's trying really hard to get us all to give that 2023 animated travesty another chance. And it's not f***ing happening, Snow White 2025. It's bad enough I have to sit through this.
Isn't much.
No, it isn't. Snow had hours to sing her way around the castle, but not any extra time to get a little sack of goodies together for Jonathan?
Tell me what it's like out there.
Suddenly, there is time for a little chat and zero fear of being discovered, despite both of them having had a very angry exchange with a nasty queen a few song bars ago. The queen, who has shown to be the exact opposite of mercy this entire movie, chooses to just stand and watch Snow White free the prisoner and sing a few more notes, instead of forcing her evil queen magic stuff on them.
Who is the fairest of them all?
I said it before and I'll say it again. Defining fair would be really handy, especially having just seen Snow White be fair to the thief and give a lesser punishment. There's far too much room for magic mirror interpretation shenanigans here.
Take Snow White far into the forest. Find a secluded glade where she can pick apples. And there, my faithful huntsman, kill her.
If the queen's end goal is for Snow White to be killed, why not have it done here at the castle? Why take her out into the woods where there's a much greater possibility that she could escape?
She's just a girl.
Living in captivity? What's her destiny? Wow, has she had it up to here?
Cut out her heart. Put it in this box.
Sometimes Disney will alter the story a bit when they realize that it's just too much, like Little Mermaid's updated Kiss the Girl lyrics. But for some reason, this story fully embraces murdering a child and cutting out her heart as part of the plot line. Snow White does not her pantaloons in this scene, offering discount Bambi your leftover soggy pocket bread. Also, come on now, we all know women's clothing doesn't have pockets, especially not bread pockets. Also, don't get too excited, children. Disney likes to kill deer. It really is a shame her necklace was ripped off somewhere in the race through the woods. I mean, it will suddenly appear later on when the plot needs it, but for right now, it's sad. This fucking goofy-ass smiling turtle. In every version of Snow White, I question why she reacts so calmly to the animals swarming around her, rather than what every normal person would do, which is think, why the f*** are these animals talking to me and touching me? While looking for a place to run and hide. Breaking and entering, bunny style. It is a wonder the house is still standing after its occupants left for work with flames burning openly on their wooden table in their wooden abode. I guess the animals wanted to lead her to the room to sleep because they knew humans really like beds. How they knew the beds were in there in the first place will not be explained. We're left to assume they break into the cabin regularly, like animal criminals. Not sure what's more reprehensible here, that Snow White is sleeping in beds that don't belong to her, or that she is almost certainly now sleeping near or in some animal excrement. Hi-ho! Let's see what actors with dwarfism Disney decided to cast in these iconic roles. Oh my god, what the f*** have they done? These magical beings have the ability to grab unlit lanterns and immediately the flame starts? Why are their powers never explained beyond this? This movie is ripe with potential, but it decides to stop trying. The lyric is, and as we swing, we always sing. And then the camera cuts to Dopey, the one goddamn person in this group who doesn't even talk, let alone sing. This song establishes that these fellas dig. Lots of gems, lots of jewels, no idea why. Are they magical gems that give certain evil queens extra power? Are they digging because they have a greater purpose within the community at large? Or is this their hundreds-year-long hobby to systematically gut the world of its precious resources for no good reason? Who knows? Who cares? We're not giving depth to this world, we're staying superficial here, people. Sudden Alfred E. Newman. And now they're headed home from what appears to be about a 10-minute workday. She awakes to see an individual in front of her, but rather than follow that person as they scamper in a singular direction, she looks right, left, right, as if she's lost track. Clearly, the instruction was to look around in surprise before the director had a plan in place for what the CGI would be doing, and it just makes her look stupid.
Allow me to introduce, in alphabetical order, bashful, dopey, grumpy, happy, sleepy, sneezy, and I'm Doc.
Technically, putting Doc at the end negates the claim of alphabetical order. I hate to be nitpicky, but... Oh wait, I love to be nitpicky.
Maybe I'll just stay for one night.
Snow White arrived as the sun rose, slept upstairs all day until the men came home, and now she's going back upstairs to sleep even more? I mean, I respect a long nap, but goddamn. That is not a boar's bloody heart. And thus begins the moment where one realizes this movie thought it was a good idea to give Gal Gadot a song, and the movie was wrong. The Queen sings, all is fair when you're the fairest of all, but Snow White is currently the fairest. Is the Queen suddenly supportive of Snow? No, lyrics just don't matter in this movie.
And don't come back without her.
Once again, do you know what would have stopped all this nonsense from occurring? Killing Snow White at the goddamn fucking castle. So many moments of this movie end with a glance toward an audience and emphasize last note of song pose, which plays very well on Broadway, but in a movie, it takes the dialogue and interactions into theatrical and distant places, which subvert any desire to be drawn into the story.
Now, Grumpy, you know Dopey doesn't talk.
'Cause he's a dope!
That's dopiest.
Just because his name is Dopey doesn't mean he's actually a dope.
Same as how you're called Happy.
because you're happy.
Are they still explaining why their names are their names? We heard about it in their introduction song, and then the character introduced to Snow section. Does Disney think we're dumb? I mean, we wouldn't watch this, so maybe they do.
Breakfast is supposed to go in your mouth, not on your head.
Because it can't be a kid's movie without some over-the-top bullying.
Are you afraid to speak? Oh, then maybe we can start with something small.
Why does she need to fix Dopey's apparent self-imposed silence? He's not asking for help. This works.
You put your lips together, place your tongue behind your teeth, and whistle.
That is horrible advice. Do you know how many children are dying to whistle for the first time and will hear to put their tongue behind their teeth and think that's the final clue to this fleeting feat? Shame on you, Snow White.
275 years is a long time to argue.
274.
This moment has really irked me. Doc corrects the year of bickering to 274, which is the same correction he made earlier with Grumpy.
A human shows up in this cottage for the first time in 275 years, and you ask her to stay?
274, to be precise.
So a human showed up at their cottage 274 years ago, and the men have been bickering for 274 years? Is the movie hinting at some sort of backstory to a human fucking with the balance of the magical minors? And how would Snow White know this? It's far more likely that the movie just uses 274 years as a throwaway number to sound impressive and didn't care to flesh out the details, which we actually do care about.
You clean those cobwebs.
Making the person named Sneezy dust anything. And thus begins the moment in every adaptation of Snow White where we are led to believe that whistling makes working more tolerable, and that's all the bullshit. Snow White catches the feather duster she handed to Sneezy earlier because it somehow ended up in the organ. Well, it seems Sneezy chucked the duster, Grumpy caught it, and appeared to walk over to the organ and stuff it in there. Why go through all that animation detail and completely hide it in the background? This movie is dying for a little humor and buries it in the organ. Like hell they fixed that fucking clock. Whatever idiot decided to fish in a tiny creek. Movie opts for the girl meanders through the woods and happens to find the singular tree stump hiding her true love method of plot progression, rather than giving us any new dimension to this ridiculously bland main character that could have done anything else to find her way and we'd respect it more. Also, convenient potato thief being conveniently behind the tree to save Snow White from getting seen and captured is convenient.
You must have mistaken me for a knight in shining armor.
I don't think anyone's making that mistake.
Snow White would be excellent at damn since. Snow White is no longer interested in learning from this person she came to find and opts for the glance hither and thither to find father method of searching for her family. It worked with the tree stump, why couldn't it work to find her father who has been missing for a decade? He could be hiding behind a stump. I must escape this witty man who is calling out my princess problems. I shall run this way. No, there's a flower there. I shall run that way. Oh, titter titter. Also, the potato thief is now singing a song about Snow White having princess problems, which is probably not wrong, but also seems a little odd, since Snow White is a huge reason why he's alive in the forest and not a frozen popsicle hanging off the Queen's castle gates. He just sang the lyric because you can't fix the world baking apple pies, which is a reference to an idea Snow White presented to the Queen that he was not in the room for when it happened.
My name's Jonathan, Princess.
Jonathan. Luckily for the bandits, these palace guards clearly attended the stormtrooper school for aiming at things. Once again, Snow White accidentals her way to a solution. Sure, she may have told the animals to go find fabric that somewhat resembles her dress because she quickly clocked that they were present in the wheelbarrow earlier, but we don't see her deducing a plan. We see her stumble on a horse after running aimlessly. Won't be needing this anymore.
You came back.
She did, despite the bandits dispersing after being surrounded and no doubt running to a secret space where they couldn't be found. She found them.
If we can give up our meager scraps, we will inherit what was meant for all of us. It's more than any of us can imagine.
These are some characters with some severe lacks of imagination.
Now help him.
Doc has explained that his knowledge is in rocks and not surgery. Snow gives a speech about needing to come together rather than fight, and then demands Doc fix her friend, as if her speech about coming together has I know kung fu Doc to become a surgeon.
Hot milk. It helps me sleep.
So, Sleepy needs help sleeping? What the f*** is this movie?
I used the blast furnace to cut through the bedrock,
That doesn't sound good.
then drilled to the fissure core,
Oh, so he's dead then.
added a poultisaur too.
Because who needs to count after bedrock blasting and fissure drilling, really?
I would do anything for Snow White's special friend.
Oh god f***ing damn it. Snow and Jonathan have exchanged a handful of words, and are we really pushing the plot that they're going to fall in love now? I thought we were past the just met falling in love, true love's kiss bullshit.
What time is it?
It's time to dance!
Yeah! Forget about all the really intense things that just happened and the fact that you're actively being hunted in these very woods. Let's break up the tension with a song!
He saved your life?
And that, my friends, is all this vapid character needs to propel her to a full-blown song about falling in love. Yes, sure, Jonathan took an arrow for her to save her, but does he smack his mouth when he eats? There are things that are important to know before you devote your life to someone. We can't play the music, but believe me when I tell you, this is discount how far I'll go.
Oh, soldiers.
Good thing the soldiers announced themselves far in advance, rather than sneakily going around the woods and crossbowing their enemies to death.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thanking the one person who doesn't live there for accommodating them. Remember when the woods went full Fangorn for Snow White earlier? Yeah, I guess that was a very specific geographical section just off the apple orchard and not at all part of the rest of the movie.
The lady with the good potatoes.
Hey, that's no way to describe melons.
See, unlike you, I know her.
After a day and a half.
Banish any trace of beauty.
Oh, good. They gave Gal Gadot another song to sing. Also, if she could make an aging potion all this time, why not slip it into Snow's drink and turn Snow into a crone?
Antidote. True love's kiss.
Picking a poison that has an antidote when you want someone to stay comatose and or dead.
That won't get you free.
Why is the huntsman even still alive? With an open door to the interior of the castle like this, it's a wonder no one has invaded before now. Poor castle planning results in a need to descend something like 5,000 stairs to get from your potion room to the cauldron room. Invent the elevator!
Do you really have to go?
She's going? Wasn't the plan to wait here for Jonathan for a couple days? If days have passed and Jonathan didn't show up, shouldn't she be concerned about that before heading off on her own? Why does nothing they say matter?
And when you find what you're looking for, you'll come back. Right?
I will. I promise.
Unkeepable promises. Treating riding a deer as if it's the same as riding a horse. Also, if the animals were able to warn the men, couldn't they just as easily have warned Snow White? Movie will now spend 3 minutes mourning a death that we know will be reversed. That time could be spent in the confrontation with the evil queen, perhaps how Snow White rallies her people to her aid, or maybe fast-forwarding to show us Snow White's life in the future and how Snow White's legacy somehow links into the Disneyverse with other princesses to set up the onslaught of live-action remakes we will be forever bombarded with, unless somehow, some way, this remake was so terrible that Disney may actually pay attention to the resounding request from their audience. Make unique stories and stop redressing your old shit as if we want to see the same thing over and over and over. Resting Snow White outside in the elements on a f***ing rock instead of indoors on a bed.
I did forget. I forgot what it was to have courage.
Skip.
The Queen's secret entrance lets out 1 mile from the royal stables.
A mile straight up. You forgot to mention it was a mile up a f***ing cliff face. But we won't show that part. So in this universe, do people not rot when they die? Everyone seems to be really okay with her looking like she's sleeping and not dead. They have no idea that a kiss will bring her back to life, so Jonathan is currently just about to kiss a comatose corpse for reasons.
Jonathan!
I bet her breath smells horrible.
What will we do now?
I'm just gonna stare at my finger for a bit and sing a song, like normal people do when their back is to the wall.
It won't be easy.
It will be very easy, actually. They literally just walk in.
Follow me.
But after you rehydrate, right? Or maybe pee? The magical slumber thing didn't give a lot of insight into how one is able to just pop right out of sleepy time and start a rebellion. Earlier, the narrator said that everyone forgot that Snow White existed. I guess this village girl who kept a dried up flower wreath close to her at all times, just in case it ever came in handy, didn't count.
I believe you're looking for me.
Were they though? They sort of stopped when you died. Snow White does not call upon the birds, bees, flowers, or trees to protect her in this scene. Oh no, the weapon broke. A weapon that materialized out of thin air and could probably be rematerialized just as easily. Yay, our rebellion lasted for a few minutes. We only had to walk from the courtyard to the moat, and we didn't have to see anyone murdered for our rights. Look at them standing there like they did anything at all since entering the castle. They've literally done nothing. So it turns out that the evil queen is defeated by, dark magic shards that leaked necrotic rotting poison that only attaches itself to, the second fairest in the land, and then a magical vortex detected this anomaly and sucked it back into the mirror, sealing itself to, protect the land from the second fairest always dying a horrible death until there was only one fair person remaining. Did I just make a better movie? Also, to everyone else, it was seen that Snow White ran up the stairs and killed the queen, hit the body, and carried on. Why are we not talking about this super fucking powerful mirror? The movie had so much potential to explore interesting things like this, and it didn't. Snow just watched a mirror break open, suck up a lady, and fix itself. And she's just like, yep, I still look so cute in this dress after surviving in the woods for weeks. Go me. Hey, remember that time I almost murdered you? But I'm just gonna smile and bow now, and we're good, right? Movie doesn't make it clear if this is a wedding scene with all white, or if Snow White turned the village into an apple-loving cult. I'm leaning cult.
One day, lad, all this will be yours. What, the curtains?
She was evil.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all?
Mommy, Krasowski!
You were saying? Pies are luxuries. They don't need luxuries. It confuses them.
I'm confused. What happened to feeling it in my jimmies?
Are you one of the bandits?
I've been chased by the best of them. And son, you make them look like they're all running in slow motion.
Remove his coat and boots and bind him to the gates to freeze.
That is so not the opposite of taking somebody's underwear!
I bought you something, Mommy.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all?
Dragons!
Cut out her heart. Put it in this box.
Who's in the box?
Agree with you. You should not be waking.
Tommy, how's the peeping? Tommy, how's the peeping?
Inigo Montoya, you killed my father. Prepare to die.